So I finished setting up the file based on the information that we have on our designer here. So I've added 6 items, 2 pumps, 2 valves, or actually 3 valves, and a filter. So we have those codes in here, so I'm going to really use those codes. Remember, this is all less than 5 characters, so make sure you do that. Of course, this is outside of the system. It will let you put 100 characters if you want in here, but it will then give you an error when you try to upload the file. It will also tell you which line it is so you can find it, but it's better to be prepared and not do that before. So or be prepared and do it before. Then there's a description, so we have a charge pump, a discharge pump, an inlet valve, outlet valve, bypass filter. You can write whatever you want as long as you keep under 40 characters. Then I'm not going to add any pictures, so when you don't add information or you'd like to enter blank information, you must enter a 0 on the fields that are to be blank. So picture and counter units, they'll all be set to 0 as in empty. Then as for the user, I use this information, so I copy exactly what is in here and I paste it onto the user list here. Counter is going to be empty, so there's not going to be any counter values on it, so initial counter values. Then the location, I just put everything on the first floor since they are from machine 1, they're all on the first floor, and for that I also copied the information exactly as it is in here, space and all. And then for legacy code, I'm not going to use any legacy code, so I leave it like that. Then I save the file. Keep in mind that you cannot change the name of the file, so save it exactly as the system provides the file to you. It's expecting the file to have this name. Then go back to the system. We'll try to upload the file and therefore the functional locations onto the system. Here. This is where you upload the file. Okay, browse for it and select the file that you've just changed, which is actually, I need to go here, and I believe it's this one, yep, and click on upload. Okay, so it says that 6 functional locations have been added successfully. Now, if you had characters that or codes that were longer than 5 characters, or you did not fill in the system with zeros, then you'll get an error here that says what the problem was and where what you have to fix. So you have to, if you do get an error in this section, you have to go to the line on the original file where the error is. So it would say line 6. You'd have to come here and see, okay, I forgot to you know, fill in the 0 in there. So you do that and attempt the upload again. Once the upload is successful, you cannot upload this file anymore with that name. You'll have to go through the steps of the wizard again. So let's just verify that we have that those 6 items under system A. So one way to do it, as we have seen before, is to go to children, and there we go. So everything that was on that file has been uploaded to the system in one go, and they have all been added, and now we can see the properties of pump 1, for example, and there's my user here because I set it as responsible for this system. There is no pictures because I didn't add any pictures, but there you go. That's the familiar functional location details page. And finally, the last item I'd like to address on this tutorial is the running hours. So we'll set some running hours on pump 1. Or current running hours. So the way you do that is you come to the functional location details page, and this is done because it is thought that operators or maintenance staff are working on the installation. They scan the systems and they come to this page. The page will adjust to fit a mobile screen. You use a browser and it will just adjust to fit the mobile screen, and you'll see the change parameters button in here. So as you go by, you see it's at 25,000 hours. So you come into the functional to edit functional location information, and you set it to 25,000 hours. And as you can see, actually there's 2 buttons in here. This one is done. It shows up at the top of a mobile device, so you don't actually need to do or change anything underneath here. This is what you will see at the top. So you just set it as 25,000 hours, and as you can see here, it has changed to 25,000 with no units. So okay, the very last thing is to actually set what units you can have in the system. So that's completely configurable, and we'll take a look at how we'll do that now. Okay, setting counter units for functional locations is easy. Simply come to modules and then select functional locations. Choose the counter units tab over here and then do running hours, for example. Add those, so you can edit, you can delete them, and then let's go back to the example we were looking at before. We'll have to refresh the page actually, because we need to now come over here, edit the information, and you'll say okay, running hours, so it's 25,000 running hours on that pump. So there you go. Now it's changed. It's always like this until you, or if you like it, you can change it with no problems. Now this is important because it is also the trigger for running hour based maintenance plans, but this is the subject of other tutorials. So that's it. Basically, we're done with most of the interaction with functional locations and adding functional locations in CMMS. Set all this functional location hierarchy in the system, we can get ready to focus on part 3, which is usage of functional location. Actually, we'll use other modules and quickly see how other modules interact with the functional location module to give actually the power or all the power that CMMS has in the management of your assets. So stand by for part 3 and see you on the next video.